Back before the days of cell phones, police interactions with the public were rarely seen. But these days, it seems everyone has a cell phone, and law enforcement encounters are often caught on camera. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police have come under a lot of scrutiny because of this. Carolina Impact's Jason Terzis introduces us to some CMPD officers making it their mission to bridge the communication gap with the public and create more positive interactions.
Put it down now. Put the gun down. He's got a gun. He's got a gun.
It's a scene being played out far too often on America's streets. Police-involved shootings.
Did you shoot him? Did you shoot him?
Whether a shooting is considered justified or not, distrust between law enforcement and the people they serve is at a tipping point.
Shots fired!
It is an all too familiar story in a new setting. This time, the city of Charlotte is on edge, awaiting a second night of protests over the police killing of a black man.
With violence towards police officers rising, respect, it seems, from both sides is deteriorating.
Because so many people only deal with us in a time of crisis, or they get pulled over, and that's their interaction.
Just like many law enforcement agencies nationwide, Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are facing an uphill battle in terms of public perception.
If you don't have interactions with police outside of crisis, then you may not have a positive view of police.
That's why within each of CMPD's 13 patrol divisions, there are designated community coordinators, roughly 70 in all. Their job isn't to answer 911 calls or issue traffic tickets, but instead get to know the people who live and work in their area and hopefully build relationships with them.
Really what we're trying to do is bridge the gap. We're trying to bridge the gap between the community and the police department.
With nearly 40 years combined experience, officers Chad Webster and Jason Peets work the University City area.
Some people may be like, why would you have police officers doing things that you don't need cops to do? Reaching out to schools and engaging the community on a non-enforcement level. But that's exactly why we need it.
The guys have spearheaded multiple programs, all with the idea of changing people's mindsets about police.
It's just you have to put a human side to that uniform. Because if you don't do that, then I think it affects public trust.
We're trying to get people on that bell curve, not the outliers that think police can do no wrong or will always hate police. We're trying to get these people in here that fall on either side to say, hey, listen, we're not out here to hurt people. We signed up to help people, and here's a kind of a different, unique perspective of two guys that are cops.
One initiative they started is called Waves of Change, with Jason, Chad, and other community coordinators simply waving to random people on the street.
And you just forget how simple of a gesture that is.
So while we're out patrolling, rolling around, if we wave and they wave back, we get out with them, introduce ourselves.
As part of those interactions, the guys hand out goodie bags with Chick-fil-A gift cards and crime prevention tips.
We've had those turn into like 15-person little events, that started out as a wave to one person. The neighbors see what's going on. We smile and we wave to them. They come over and we just end up having this, little community engagement party.
Jason, Chad, and the other coordinators are also very active in area schools.
We probably hit about 2,000 to 3,000 kids this school year.
They read to the kids and talk about the importance of education, but the main reason they go is to win trust.
There was one particular class that they went into. When they walked in, some of the kids scurried to the corner crying because they were terrified of why they were there. And by the end, they were hugging them and begging them not to leave.
And at the end of the little session we have with them, we give them a stuffed animal. We call it their reading buddy. And then we try to encourage them to read outside of school, read over the summer, and read to their reading buddy out loud.
And when it comes to reading, Chad practices what he preaches. As a 6th grader, one of his goals was to become an author, and he's done just that, writing 2 children's books, Mystery Muffin and Soda Pop Sleuth, The Ghost of Crippler's Creek in 2017, and The Legend of Mr. Creepy in 2018.
I guess it's a kind of unique thing where we hear about a police officer that writes children's books.
He's a really great dad, and he's really great at getting on the kids' level and being able to explain things to them in a way that doesn't make them feel talked down to.
I want kids to want to read, and I hoped that I could write something that would do that.
As part of the school visits, the guys will sometimes bring along Frankie and Sergeant Snuggles, their therapy pigs, as part of the Bacon response team.
When he came up with the pigs idea, at first I'm thinking, that's out there,
A lot of people will refer to cops in a derogatory term as a pig. So we're taking that head on.
And in keeping with their cop pig theme, Jason and Chad started a monthly podcast called Please Pass the Bacon.
Friday. Podcast day.
We wanted to start telling good police stories about interesting people, about atypical police officers.
Chad and Jason were among the CMPD officers recently recognized for their service to the community, and they've received donations from the likes of the Panthers and Walmart to help fund their efforts.
The fact that I'm in a position where I can make a difference in that way is great.
So whether it's waving, giving away goodies, visiting schools, or doing podcasts, the goal is ultimately the same: to gain trust and bridge the communication gap with the community. And in today's times, those little deeds might go a long way. For Caroline Impact, I'm Jason Terzis reporting.
It's great to see those positive interactions with our police force. Thanks so much, Jason, for sharing that story.